Hi, I'm Paul Duchesne. Welcome to Mama Paul's video podcast. I'm going to do something a little different today. I'm going to do a 5 minutes on Rachael. Now, I watch Rachael almost every night. I get the New York Times delivered almost every day. And I'm going to try to do some brief summaries, less than 5 minutes. So in this case, let's just do Rachael from the other night. Now, let's put up a picture of Rachael, just so you know what I'm talking about over here. Here she is. Now, I've been listening to Rachael Maddow for years now. Before she was on television, when she was a host on the radio show, I was listening to her extensively. And then she got on television, and pretty much a day without Rachael seems to be a day without... Oh, I guess I better move over there to get that in. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so I do listen to Rachael every night. I don't think there's an equivalency between MSNBC and Fox News. I think it's a false equivalency to try to compare the two. When Rachael gives a story on her show, you generally find the roots of the story have been in some other magazine or some other publication, and then she'll come out with it and do the story, and then a day later the New York Times will publish it, or they'll do the story. On Fox News, you don't get that. You get false news. They make up stuff. You don't find the Fox News stories being validated in even the Wall Street Journal, which, you know, is quite a bit right. But it's not there. Fox News and MSNBC are not equivalent. They may have a political bias on MSNBC. They've all got a political bias. They may be pro-establishment even. But what's going on at Fox News is so antithetical to anything even resembling the truth. I mean, you turn on Tucker Carlson. The guy looked like he just got he looks like a zombie who just came out of a coffin any second. And the guy that used to be on, Hannity's still there, the lying SOB, and O'Reilly they've kicked off, and the guy that heads the company was a sexual predator, and the guy in charge of the whole bloody deal, he's made a career out of building up tabloids. So there is no equivalency between the two. So I said I was going to talk for 5 minutes about Rachael, and I'm not. I'm talking about all this other crap. Okay, having said that, she opened up the show with this story. Basically, it's been the demise of democracy and how the attack on the voting rights has been the dominant theme from the Republican Party all month here. Right now, there are 700 Republicans running for various offices around the country. At least a third of them, over 200 of them, are Trumpies, basically promoting the false claim that Trump lost the election. Now, right now, the whole Voting Rights Act has been collapsed by the Supreme Court. If the Democrats don't do anything about the filibuster and move on this thing ASAP, this whole thing is over. The Democrats don't seem to be doing jack shit about this, and it's getting really disturbing. Election laws are being changed all over the country. How they count the votes, how they certify the votes. They're putting political appointees into these positions. The people who have been doing this, the honest patriots who have been doing this, their honorable thing, have been threatened. Literally, their lives have been threatened. They've been harassed by this group of white, racist Republicans who are running around with all these Trump lies. And they're actually saying they're using their power to overturn elections. This is their stated goal right now. So that was one aspect of the show. The head of the Oklahoma Republican Party, the whole Republican Party, is trying to overthrow the one senator who, on January 6th, he was about to come out against certifying the election and putting a time period in. Then the Capitol got attacked. When they came back that night, he realized how bad things were, and he changed his mind. He said, well, wait a second. We need to certify this election because this guy won, Biden. Well, now the head of the Republican Party is trying to get this guy out because of his crime of going against Trump's lies. This is where the Republican Party is at today. And this is serious. This is really serious stuff. I mean, our democracy is crumbling underneath us. So that was one aspect. A next quick story. I'm already at 5 minutes, so we didn't do this in under 5. So let's stop it right there. Get off the air.